All right, yemo bibi akwaba. Na Andy Kem and I everything come. Two channels. Andy channel no very much.
And the Cam Sports TV on YouTube.
Okay. Andy Kem Sports TV on YouTube. Waiting ya for Marco search it, no subscribe. And then everything come over really. Kotoko the ever back. Na other ones no swap. Now, and then Arsenal against PSG, UEFA Champions League. Now, after the first round, you come over with a buy and after time go be and first game, no, were you surprised with the score like Grant and for other angles?
Well, I won't say I was surprised, but I was expecting something better from Arsenal. My reason was simple. Who said the two teams this year are the face of the competition.
That's what I
Emma,
like.
almost year are the face of the competition. Emma Arsenal winning by 2 goals to 0. Referee will do first match on one side with the second match. And oh boy, UEFA Champions League semi-final at home. Wahon nyinaa na also the wura game mu a na ɛba so no, but PSG on the other hand say over before no more last 3 games on aba Premier League na no lose against Arsenal, Liverpool show even against Aston Villa take it 2 goals lead. Aston Villa ba back ever teach 3-2
Inti the first game scoreline and
yes inti 3 games our boy against Premier League sides nyinaa etimi edi nkugu. So Arsenal beating Madrid home and away, a boost to our confidence. I'm not doubt that any probably be or moon frame. Until I'm expected on the field of play, almost shows our quality now, almost show against Real Madrid on the field of play. But on the day, it looks as if all their plan was not successful. Individually, they couldn't show up. We had the zeal, we had the sacrifice, the energy level, the athleticism. And PSG is shown on the field of play and BBH said they look more purposeful and only team are not ready to win on the day.
So Arsenal back in like a team that is playing the semi-final of the Champions League.
Well,
on first game Messi or everything.
Well, I won't say that because Leandro Trossard the ball now and yet Gigi Donnarumma a goal. So Gabriel Martinelli ball now and yet Gigi Donnarumma a goal. But what I'm saying is a boom home. And the fear there because chances of winning away in the silent here. And the fear there, you put in all your arsenal just to make sure you bang in the goals. So the bear okwa away at least okwa set back, not preventing 1 or 2 goals later. At least you are good to go. And so because away goal rules are run out. So to me 2-0 at home, okwa away comfortable. Unlike first say 2-2 krana and I 1-1 able 2-2 over free. It did not expect something better from what Arsenal showed on the field of play. But tactically, ultimately go up to expectation and failing to carry the day.
Well, after the game, discussion was with I think the before the back was party. How influential was the exit of Party on the game? PSG solid from Virginia, Joao Neves, Fabian Ruiz, mechanical football ball, passing football ball. Party will want to neutralize army for now.
Well, I think the only rule I will accept in the party's absence is one. So she that dinner because that party will not declare I keep. Yes, 80 and once the 3 minutes for no party set the tone, give it to declare rice, progress to Odegaard. Odegaard the active between the central midfield and the attacking midfield. Eti no tama pateni ona declare ebe deep no. So I hear me game the ball no is sluggish. A typical Spanish ball my pass medina yi. Inti na mo transitional play no. A check and sign to do the final third. And when it comes to Fifina, because those 2 guys Omoboma PSG were excellent retentional play. No one team. It is the absence of Patino, the only role or the only effect Badema Arsenal said there was no one to act as a receiver. Bejebono from Saliba or Jacob Kevo. Now they are more to drive home midfield. That was the only absence. But Pate dominating Vintina and Job Neves. for what those guys have shown this season, I'm yet to see central midfield that will dominate the two guys. Yes. I'm yet because almost time, almost Javi DNB, almost Busquets DNB, almost Iniesta DNB, almost Verratti DNB. And the only here on FIFA, so almost compose, almost dominate, almost pass, almost distribute, almost chain, almost intercept. Kejao never born over free. Martinelli and him 18 but a lot of midfielders ever committed foul. But he was comfortable, and any department out the ball never move almost I feel so comfortable to receive the ball, take on 1, 2, 3 players, and release the ball. I'm yet to see a midfield that will dominate the two central figures. So, Partey absence, yes, who check players no mobile ball now. Partey has been in the Champions League final twice. Arsenal players your mobile ball. One at me level up to that level, none of them. In terms of experience. And again, with the Drew Baby experience is key because experience brings that pedigree. And on the foot of play, I felt that Odegaard in the main man in Arsenal. Abrante FN Declan Rice. Forget about the Madrid game. Obia who Madrid issues on Marco this particular season. Almost match now back for no. So you don't expect that team to perform to the level I wouldn't know. Na Madrid na ba imagine road their mom. Say it will be easier for them to beat Paris Saint-Germain. Partey's absence and only but on the field of play, I don't think that the presence of Partey Ebema PSG made for normal to that guy.
Young court match, so that was something from last week. And you may see during the game now in the game. We know the importance of a goalkeeper in UEFA Champions League campaign. So we are here. How instrumental and a match now? David Weah for Arsenal, Donnarumma for PSG. What is their role in this particular game?
To win a Champions League, especially the semi-finals of the Champions League, so person go final. Here Peter Cech, here Gugi Buffon, here Ike Casillas, here Julio Cesar, here Edwin van der Sar, here Francesco Toldo, here Ariel of goalkeepers who were ready to die on the field of play. The likes of
Mendy.
Eduardo Mendy. And no, here come for nothing. Yes, yes. Emma Omode friend of Confanochano. You need those things. Who gave him Dida for AC Milan back then. Oh, he had the likes of Giovanni Rulli. Yes, just do the no, but then in 2005 what I talk, he stood between Liverpool and the AC Milan team on the day. What I'm saying is that two goalkeepers in the key game with everybody, and in the first leg, Arsenal Real Madrid or first leg in Emirates. You win a game, no? Now be discuss Declan Rice. A born now, Bosher, no? A blame Madrid for no. But Obiora said David Roya was quick to save two clear balls from Kylian Mbappe. That ball should have resulted in a goal. It could have changed the complexion of the game. Yes. A Juma or here on the day, and Sana Declan Rice said, Sabo now action, Obia and Fanaji alcohol. We have two excellent goalkeepers. Omubebane. Kiki Donnarumma de Okoye Emirates, no. Pressure a becon so no, Emrusa. The pressure
there was tough pressure on him.
Exactly. You should prepare for the defensive plan. Also, on your defensive plan, now Ditun said, you will be the receiver. You'll be at the receiving end of the game. So I Gigi Donnarumma, he was prepared for the first encounter. If you born a buyer, anytime I'm calling to duty, spot on. And or you're Sardian against Aston Villa, or you're Sardian against Liverpool, and or Sardian against Arsenal. That is a yes. That is a trait of a goalkeeper who is ready to play in the Champions League final. In this situation, Arsenal and David Roya say Arsenal be qualify. A lot depends on him because now Madrid any technical midfield to control, possess, dominate, and distribute. So okay, pressure a bar Arsenal defense. It was low. It Julian Timber solid. Jacob was solid. Lewis Kelly solid. But unfortunately, PSG Babe attack you. Desire Doué, Kvaratskhelia, and then Abrante Fene Dembele. Omo ball with power and drive, and Omo fire from all cylinders. So Arsenal will be at the receiving end. Into a honey baby, who your goalkeeper, who shaky, who your goalkeeper, who be standing tall, who your goalkeeper, who be show organizational skills, not show leadership on the field of play, just to make sure say you need to anticipate, you should be ready for reflexes, and you should be ready for long balls and shooting abilities. Every few other strikers and what in about.
Now, you think, say, at the end of the day, which of the goalkeepers now, based on your match our campaign, we everything making a difference for their team?
Well, Gigi
You have to
Donnarumma,
vote.
obviously, it is going to be Gigi Donnarumma. Donnarumma, because of the examples I've been mind, So, okay, Liverpool game, PSG are banned for that, but the kind of football on the ball is I don't know. In the Champions League, they played in the final before, but ball on the ball, it was that day. Now, PSG team needed there. They can go places. Look at that ball. Look at Asensio ball now, boy, now check.
Yeah. That was
Villa Park. Yes. Asensio ball. No,
that
no,
last minute, okay?
and no, can be other. But you optimist and get tall to make sure so be safe with that situation. And again, Naroma has shown it in terms of goalkeeping, winning the European 2020 tournament. And in the last 2 seasons, he's been consistent. So, of the two goalkeepers, I think it's only Obia Watcher.
Over trust.
Yes, obvious.
Now, let's talk about the coaches. Now, Arteta and Ricky. Because I will mismatch, but football, yeah. What we do this stage, they are watching. Enrique at the Champions League, Arteta. But in a game of such magnitude, you need a tactical brain. So how do you see the tactical arrangement? Then from that angle, why now we trust them? So we make it a difference there on the team when it gets to that game management moment, tactical switch moment, substitution moment. Why now wait me as a man coaches in here?
Well, Obi awaye bi da hɔ a yɛnkɔhwɛ sɛ yɛkɔhwɛ ade da pii. Luis Enrique PSG ɛna ɔmo need that respect. Amanfoɔ ntrust ɔmo based on nneɛma a ɔmo ayɛ disappointment on the ama nkorɔfoɔ nka match nkɛnyɛ match biara. Now of the two coaches, Luis Enrique nya upper hand ɛwɔ first leg no. Because we nya upper hand in terms of the arrangement, in terms of the decision making, in terms of the differential tactics. Unya everything right. Excellence or experience that Mikel Arteta on the day. The game remember so neno. Atie baako tactics will play a role, but I feel the motivational aspect of the Arsenal players will play a key role.
The motivation of the Arsenal
yes.
players.
So more be motivated to almost said we have 90 minutes to be in the final or we have 90 minutes to be exited. Name so much you say 90 minutes we can beat PSG. That is in here view.
Okay.
Because I know
that's psychological.
The psychological aspect of it. Let's just say mentally you are ready for that particular battle. Share plan now Bukayo Saka frame. I will first leg. Obien will say Kvaratskhelia track backstage.
To support Nuno
Mendes. And that game, Nuno Mendes and center line. Obi show game Libya one center line. Again, there was a distribution between Vintina and Fabian Ruiz. Inti Fabian Ruiz ban nkyɛn kakra. Ɛhɔ na Vintina aba so akra. Inti there was a certain triangle of the play Bukayo Saka out because ɔno ne obi a ɔde ball ne ba n'anim na ɔmo nya chance na e.
So then yeah 1v1. Almost pushing it to a 3v1.
Exactly. Inti system ni play Bukayo Saka out. And I'm saying that the previous PSG team, idea of man lacking idea with mad bandit, sacrifice, teamwork, die for the other. Let's battle with them. And over any Champions League team, you need certain players that will sacrifice for the other. And the Jose Mourinho team, the coach Samuel Eto'o, who has won 2 Champions League, sacrifice for Diego Milito.
To go and play on the wings.
Yes. Karim Benzema must sacrifice for Cristiano Ronaldo to score the goals. Vinicius Junior sacrificed for Benzema to score the goals. Rodrigo sacrificed for Vini to bang in the goals. So at least you need 1 or 2 players that will sacrifice on the field of play. Nti hwɛ Desire do ne drop. A skillful player and contact ball. Kvaratskhelia ne drop. No, them Billy cry drop it by support my phone. It really tells you how coach within a short time Etimi are getting the best out of this particular setup. The previous team of Paris, we can talk about injuries and no money lack of the draw. But the reality is that now I'm lacking that sacrifice on the football player. They beat me, I'm my champion. But this team, almost the tactical know-how, almost the tactical brain,
Top coach.
yes, and on the field of play, almost that resilience, almost that understanding, almost that sacrificial roles. I'm almost say we want to be in the final, and this is the right platform to be out there.
Before we wrap up, we have a question. Mbappe leaving PSG. Has it been a blessing to PSG? Because you see now okay issue of sacrifice. We feel on now the element of superstars left in Dakar. You see, yes, between our Abena moves now, farmer on Drew, but he's solid. Joao Neves last year, this year no free Portugal. Because this year this transfer will no free Portugal. Fabian Ruiz, Napoli to PSG, hype mean was our euros, but hype mean was. So these are players that can be committed to a system. Then you check Desiree Dio, say Bakola, Desiree Bakola, young talent. Kvaratskhelia, the wire is on Napoli this year. Then Dembele, a talent that is yet to prove himself. I feel no team. Or moving from superstars to talent that is disciplined to a system. Adding the Mbappe factor of him has it been a blessing to them?
It will only become a blessing when they win the Champions League.
Okay.
It will only be a blessing when they win the Champions League. Yes. The Stars team presented them to the Champions League final.
Okay.
Yes. Emma almost 18 elusu to Bayern Munich. It's the team here just last week they were in the semi-final.
Yeah. With Mbappe.
Against Borussia Dortmund. And almost your mind to be enrolled. So it is not as if we might try the Omoye. So we might try the Omoye because they still have to win it.
Okay.
Because almost it is the same standard.
If they win PSG their first Champions League,
yes,
then we can say that the theory of PSG move from superstars with ego,
yes,
to young talent who form a system,
yes,
teamwork, discipline.
Exactly.
Until then,
until no, you wait. And then we might name a man. We might League One. Those guys won several League One titles. What is the difference? The difference is that this team is playing in the semi-final. That team played in the Champions League final. Yebeka Luis Ocampos, Yebeka Luis Enrique, Yebeka changing from superstar to system talented.